Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Amy's Awesome Adventure. And this is truly an adventure because as you can see, I'm not in front of my background, but instead I'm here at a grocery outlet bargain market with the wonderful owner and operator of the store. And I know I'm gonna butcher your name. It's Chris Chartier.
Chartier, good enough.
All right. Like the watch with a CH, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, one of the things I want to say before we get started and I start asking you questions is the wonderful thing about this store is really you. Because as an owner operator in a lot of places, you don't get to see the face. I mean, you get to see it on a picture, but you don't get to see the actual person. And I love that. So is that something that you as an individual came up with, or is that a grocery outlet kind of idea?
Well, first, thank you for saying that, and thanks for coming and having us. It's actually a grocery outlet thing, and it's so important that we're a part of the community. We're not just a big corporation that's about shareholder value.
Right.
We're truly about the community and helping the community. So it really is something very unique to grocery outlet, really differentiates us.
Yeah. So what was it that was it you that chose the location of Lomita, or did grocery outlet choose it and then you went up the ranks, or how did that happen?
So it was both. Grocery outlet and their operators, it's a true partnership. And they find locations. Now, I knew that Lomita was a fabulous location. And when I first started working on a partnership with grocery outlet 4 years ago, I wanted Lomita. And they were looking in the South Bay, and Lomita showed up, and so I got it.
Oh, okay.
And because of a number of things, but it was a partnership as well.
Right. Now, how long have you been with the grocery, I'm going to call it family because that's the way it feels, with the grocery outlet family?
Yeah. So it was October of 2019, right in the middle of the pandemic. And I left Michael's Arts and Crafts and started this adventure.
Wow.
And you spend 6 to 12 months learning how to be an owner-operator. I got really lucky. In 6 months, I took my first store, and that was in Long Beach on Wardrow in May of 2020, right? Or 20. And I've been an operator for 3.5.
That's so awesome that I mean, you grocery outlet changes and grows, and it seems like you have changed and grown right along with it.
Oh, without a doubt, I've changed a lot. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit and wanted to run my own business, own my own. I never could have dreamt how rewarding it is,
right,
and how hard it is, but you reap what you sow, and that really makes me feel good.
Yeah. So what is it about grocery outlet that was more appealing to you than, say, going to an Albertsons, or going to, a more larger store?
Yeah. So that's an easy question to answer, and it is being an owner and an operator, and being able to control my destiny and do things. And one of the statements at grocery outlet, the corporate grocery outlet, is you don't measure in the money that you make, but you measure in the lives you touch. And when you're an owner of a grocery store in a community, it's just been phenomenal, especially here in Lomita, the number of lives we've touched. We just donated over $1,500 to Fleming Middle School, and we partnership with the Salvation Army, with the Catholic Church here, and also with New Challenge Ministries. So we do so much with the community. I could never do that. I've tried to do that with other companies, but at the end, the buck stops with me. I get to do what I want.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you mentioned, I'm very familiar with New Challenge Ministries and Pastor John, and that's a wonderful organization to be connected with. So I can definitely see they both believe in that family value type of thing. So I could definitely a terrific partnership. And, not only that, but besides being here for Amy's Awesome Adventure, Barry and I are local to this shop, so we shop here too. And one of the things that we were mentioning before we started today was how much lower a lot of the prices
Yeah.
are than you see, and it's the same product. So how, and you had mentioned about it's not the money you make, it's the relationships, it's the
Mm-hmm.
people. So how are you able, how is Grocery Outlet able to do
Yeah.
that?
Well, first of all, we got to make money to help people. So it is a for-profit, but the more we can make, the bigger we can grow, the more we can help.
Right.
But, you know, Grocery Outlet, we like to say we're like the TJ Maxx or the Marshalls of the grocery business. Now, about 30 to 40% of our merchandise, it's commodities. And we want you to be able to shop us once a week, twice a week. And so we carry produce and eggs and milk and meat. You know, those things, some cheeses, they're commodities.
Right.
And our pricing is probably pretty consistent with a Food for Less. It's a deep discount market. But then the magic starts with what we call wow pricing. And our wow pricing is we buy things opportunistically. And you can save up to 70% and sometimes more because we're able to buy things, who knows why. Maybe it was an overrun. Maybe it was something that they were going to send to an international market and it fell through. Who knows? But the producers, the vendors, Kellogg's, whoever, they come to us and we work together to try and save the value and still make money and pass it on. And so we're able to sell things for crazy prices.
Right.
You know, we have things for less than $1 all the time. We've got this Delight coffee, 50 cents. It's $2.50 everywhere. Where do you get a can of coffee? It's great Reese's flavor. How we got that, who knows? Reese's peanut butter flavor, maybe it didn't go that well. We've got Starbucks coffee in our dairy and deli. It's not a half gallon, but bigger than a quart. It's $2.99. You can't buy one cup of coffee at Starbucks for that.
Right.
And you see it everywhere. And we look for a treasure hunt where people can find just phenomenal deals. We got chips for $1.99 all over the place. Where do you buy chips? A full family-sized bag of chips for $1.99. You can't do that anymore.
And I'm looking over there. We got Halloween coming up, and you've got the candy, the big bags of candy for $3.99.
$3.99.
Not going to find that anywhere else.
And it's branded candy. It's
right.
not this, you know, smaller size, smaller price, or plain label. I mean, we've got York, we've got M&Ms, we've got Kit Kats, we've got Reese's.
Right. And before we started here, you were showing, I mean, the prices on this meat, you know, and you were even telling my husband when we started, you were kind of looking with him at the meat and saying, well, you know, this one's not so good, and you know, and I wouldn't pick that. So I could see you. I definitely, I'm sure you're out here yourself pulling the stuff that, oh, this is expired, or maybe it just doesn't look so great, and you're pulling that, and you're not giving that to customers, and that's awesome that you're so hands-on with that.
If you're going to get trust, and I'm a meat cutter by trade. When I was 19 years old, I got a job as an apprentice meat cutter, so I got a real passion here. Another thing that we do with meat, we didn't talk about, some of our pricing is amazing. We sell, you know, grass-fed ground beef for $5.99. It was on sale for $4.99 last week. I mean, these are $9 at many stores. But we also, the community, you know, there's a big Islamic community here. We've got a mosque down the street. We sell halal meats, and it is just blowing up. And to be able to do that, my understanding is not many people sell halal meats, and they sell it at very high prices.
Right.
And we've got beef and chicken halal that they can get and still, you know, live the way they choose.
Yeah. And you mentioned you mentioned the halal meat for Islamic people. Do you have kosher options here in the store?
We have some kosher. It's funny, I had somebody asking me about kosher options. I'm married to a Jewish woman myself, and we do have a few kosher options, but not a lot. I'm going to talk to the meat buyer, actually. He was in our store not too long ago and see what that looks like. We do sell a few deli kosher items and some cheese that's kosher, but not a lot.
Okay. Well, hey, you know, you're that's where you can grow too. You know, you've got your toe in the water, so to speak,
there we go.
and that's gonna grow even more.
You're the second person to ask me that this week.
Yeah. Well, you know, being Jewish myself, and we just had the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah. This week is we had Rosh Hashanah, we had Yom Kippur. This week is Sukkot.
Yeah.
Next week is Simchas Torah. So, you know, and there's a big Orthodox community here in Lomita as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, so it's that's great though that you see the need in the
Yeah.
community and you know you work with it as opposed to, oh well, it's just that. I mean that's what I love about grocery outlet bargain market in general, is that it is a neighborhood market.
Yeah.
And things will change to what you need. And the other thing I want to mention, because I know you said you had some employees and you have a good relationship with your employees that you like to include. So I want to go into that, but before I do, one thing I want to mention too is that grocery outlet doesn't have just groceries. That was the thing that impressed me. I mean, I was walking around the store. You have some some pharmaceutical
We got health and beauty
stuff,
aids, vitamins, toothpaste, deodorant. We've got all of the health and beauty and different things of that nature.
Yeah,
that you need.
some Christmas ornaments I saw.
We do. Christmas is coming.
Yeah, you've got some
Halloween
kitchen
stuff,
Halloween stuff,
absolutely.
kitchen stuff,
baking.
I mean, everything besides groceries.
Yeah.
It's great. Sort of a one-stop shop.
And it's all got wild pricing.
It does.
It's amazing some of the prices we get.
It's great. Well, I would love to see if we can maybe go around and maybe find an employee of yours or two, and you could introduce them and include them in this video as well.
That's great. Let's do it.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So let's go get. Are we? Oh, you still taping? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
We'll take a little tour.
Yeah. Oh no, and Michelle. I would love to take a tour, and if we can do it standardized. Dylan, can you do me a favor? Can you take over for Michelle for Cynthia? Here, because we can do that in the liquor department too.
Okay.
So people don't know about our wines.
Oh, okay,
and I would
great.
love to highlight our wine.
Awesome.
And you take care of the wine, right? So we're going to talk about it a little bit. Okay, come on, relax. It's going to be awesome.
We're among friends, Cynthia. No worries, no worries.
Can I start this one?
You sure can.
Okay. So Amy, you talked about our people, and that's another thing about Grocery Outlet, because we're local and we're not a big company like an Albertsons or a Ralph's. Our people are truly everything.
Yeah.
It's not about the shareholders, and I got to say, I got the best people in the world. Because without our team, we're nothing.
Right, right. And like I said, I've shopped here before, and will continue to. But that was one of the things. I was here on opening day, and I was so impressed with the staff and how they kept everybody organized and how they had smiles on their faces. And you were passing out water while people were waiting in line, and free bags with goodies in them, and just all of that. And it's so wonderful to see the workers in a store. How can I help you, with a smile on their faces, as opposed to, oh, it's over there.
It's not really hard to do when you got a good leader like Chris.
Oh.
He's such a good guy, and I'm so glad that you have people in here coming and being happy about what's going on in here, because it's a pleasure to work here for me anyway.
Yeah. So Cynthia, did you work at Grocery Outlet before you came to this location, or did you come to this location and?
No, as a matter of fact, I was just driving by and they had a tent outside, and I'm like, okay, let me go see what's going on over there on our neighborhood, right? So I go over here and I ended up just filling out an application, and I get the lottery. I was able to get on, and so that's how it came about.
Yeah, that's so awesome that. That's another part of it's the community. It's people driving by and, oh, let's see what's happening, and let's go in there and see what it's about. So I love that.
Yes.
We had 40 people that we hired to open this store. 36 of them had never worked at Grocery Outlet. And that opening was phenomenal. The community really took care of us. But you speak to what was amazing was the team. They worked and they were appreciative and they understood and they took care of everybody in a way where they came back, and that's
Yeah, it was a big deal, and you know, we took it serious and we knocked it out of the park. I thought, you know,
I thought so too.
did a good
I
job.
agree. I
Thank
agree.
you.
So, as you can see, and as we said, we are in we have moved over to this wine section, and you guys said you said you wanted to highlight a little bit about the wine, so I leave it to you.
Well, you were great in promoting us and talking about how HBC, you know, our health and beauty products, and then our general merchandise, toys, and kitchen products. And then another big part of us that people don't know is we have a great wine selection.
Yeah, we do. We have Cabernet here. We have all kinds of Cabernet. This is really popular. The prices are phenomenal. We have people buying them by the box, so that's a good thing.
As long as I'm not drinking out of the box.
Well, we sell it in a box sometimes too.
And then we have our Molbecks here. That's another brand we're selling here, and that's great too. That flies off the shelf. Then we have our Zins here. And I wasn't really familiar with wine until I started doing this. So I'm still not there yet, but you know what? I'm learning. I'm learning. And every day is a learning process for me. So I'm really looking forward to taking in all the knowledge that they're offering here. We've got our white wines are here, and we've got our Pinot Noir. What is it?
Pinot Noir.
I can't say it. I'm working on it. And then we have our Sauvignon Blanc. I'll get it out.
Well, just think of Dracato.
Oh, I'll try
yeah.
to remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and also remiss to point out, every day of the week, if you buy 9 bottles of wine, you get your 10th one for a dime. Buy 9, get one for a dime.
Yeah,
That's
it
7
was-
days a week.
I was noticing that. Yeah, I was noticing that sign, and I was like, "Wow, where else are you going to get a deal like that?" That's there you go. There's a wow price.
And,
Yeah.
and the prices are so great that if you have not tried it before, it's not going to hurt the wallet. You know, I mean, it's great. It's a great price. And
We also, twice a year, we do a 20% off wine sale. It's famous at Grocery Outlet, and that's going to be coming up soon. So look at our Facebook page, Instagram, check for email. We'll have a 20% off all wine here coming up soon.
Okay, so let me ask you. I just happened. This is again just an aside. My father happens to own a winery out in Paso Robles.
Okay.
wow.
And so I've been trying to get my brother who runs it to come to this area and feature the wine somewhere nearby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I love it and I tell everybody about it, but they can't go up to Paso.
Yeah.
So is there a way that if I could possibly go to someone at Grocery Outlet and say, hey, I know of a great wine. I'd like to maybe have it come in, or have I don't know.
So a Grocery Outlet has a strong team of buyers that are always looking for great wines and great deals. They're in Emeryville, and we could fix them up with a wine buyer and could talk to them and see if there's anything that could happen. But Grocery Outlet Corporate finds all our merchandise, and then we order what we believe would work best for the community based off of what they can find and the deals they can get. And that's one of the ways that we leverage the volume and the size by them being able to get that. So we're going to have to get your brother hooked up with one of the buyers at Emeryville.
Yeah,
If anybody
definitely.
can do it, there's your man.
Yeah.
He works wonders, I'll tell you. I'll tell you that.
Well, Chris, it really shows the community has embraced you. Your employees have embraced you. This has just been, from start to finish, my personally and for my YouTube viewers.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful. I think this partnership, so to speak, is going to be ongoing, and I think it's going to bring in a lot of new people that don't know about Grocery Outlet.
From your lips to God's ears, and we ain't going anywhere, that's for sure.
And neither are we.
Right. Thank you, Cynthia, for joining us and being a part of this. I know I know you had said you were a little bit nervous about doing this, but
Yeah.
you did great, and
Thank
it's
you.
wonderful to have you be part of it. And
Thank you for allowing me to be part of this. Anything to help out the store.
well, yeah, and it's so wonderful, and it's so wonderful to see, you know, like I say, to see a team and employees that love what they do. So
Yeah.
kudos to you for that as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much, and good luck with all this. And I gotta go because I gotta do.
Yeah, you got to get back
to work.
Get back to work. Thank you, thank you. All right. Well, if is there anything else that you wanted to touch upon, or
I just want to thank you both for coming and for and exposing our business to the bigger, greater community. And I look forward to continuing to do more of this.
yes, definitely, definitely. And you know, when you have if you have any special sales or anything you want to highlight, please let me know, and we'll come in and we'll do something with you for that.
That would be awesome.
So thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of Amy's Awesome Adventure. And as I always say, have a wonderful day, week, or month, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.